Hi, welcome to Project Small Ireland. This is a short video intended for people who will attend the meeting on the 12th of June in the Dublin Dental University Hospital, either in person or by webinar. My name is Kevin McGillifoydick. I'm the lead researcher on Project Small Ireland. This is an action research project which will initiate, design, implement, evaluate and establish evidence-based oral health service models for people with disabilities in Ireland. There are 6 distinct steps to this process, the first of which is called the Delphi process. This is a research process used to develop consensus. This project was specifically aimed to gain consensus on what services for people with disabilities in Ireland should aim to achieve. It is this first step that this video will concentrate on. We'll review the progress so far. We'll review the panel who have inputted to this process. We will also describe the core statements and core questions which have come from this process. It is these statements and questions which will be reviewed at the meeting on the 12th of June 2013. We will give examples of how to use the attached documents so as to enable this process. So, to give some background to the Delphi so far. This project started in December 2011 and the Delphi panel was started in July 2012. This panel generation took 7 months, meaning that in January 2013 the first of 3 Delphi rounds were started. These 3 Delphi rounds were completed in April 2013. So, who was involved in this Delphi panel? Of the 48 people who completed the 3rd and final round of the Delphi, 23 were disability experts and 25 were dental experts. To look closer at these 2 groups, we see that the disability group was made up of either people with disabilities or parents thereof, or disability professionals. The dental experts were made from a broad range of dental professional roles. Another important factor is that a number of disability types was covered by the group. This slide shows that many groups were included, including people with intellectual disability, physical disability, sensory, neurological and medical disabilities, social disabilities and psychiatric illness. So, what did this Delphi panel do? In January, we asked a simple question: what should dental services for people with disabilities in Ireland be like? The Delphi panel gave 351 responses. These 350 responses were combined and reviewed by the researchers, generating 83 items or statements. These 83 statements were then sent back to you, the Delphi panelists, who, using a 5-point scoring system from top priority to no priority, prioritized each statement. This process was repeated to the point where the researchers could decide what the level of priority and what the level of agreement on each statement was. Statements were then joined together to generate 18 core questions and core statements. These 18 core questions and statements will be reviewed by the panel at the meeting in a few weeks' time. This will generate the final consensus. So, the process for the meeting is as follows. The panelists will review the core statements and questions as they arise by level of priority. Each statement and question is made up of a number of items. These items will also be reviewed as they relate to the core question or statement. The process aims to gain consensus on each of these statements and questions, so as that the panel has agreement. Once this agreement is made, we will then reprioritize these statements from the most priority to the least priority, so as to give a framework for service planners in the future. This table shows a summary of core statements. As you can see, the first column has the rank in which each statement has arisen. This rank is based on the mean rank of the items, or the average rank of the items which feed into this statement, and the level of agreement given. As we see, the first ranked item, there is a need for awareness of the importance of oral health among people, their families, carers and health professionals, is generated by 2 items. This is given in column N. The mean or average ranking of these items, which have been inputted into the statement, is 3rd, and the mean level of agreement is 100. If we go ahead to look at an example from the document sent to you, we will see that the number 8th highest ranking statement is this: services should be available or accessible locally. We see from the column N that there are 3 items which generate this statement. They are: dental services should be available, dental services should be available locally, and dental services should be available in many locations. As we see from the ranking column, we see that the first item was ranked 3rd by the Delphi panel, the second 21st, and the third 26th. In the next column, we see the level of agreement, that is, high priority or top priority items from the group. We see that 100% agreed regarding the first item, 91, and then 89. And the level of priority given by the group, it goes alongside that. It is anticipated that agreement will be fairly easy for most statements. However, there are some statements which have been generated from contradictory items. Therefore, these are called core questions. The next table gives an overview of the core questions. Again, it's presented in a similar manner to the questions, or to the core statements. That is, rank, the number of items which have been included to generate the core question, the core question itself which has arisen for the group to consider, then the mean or average rank of the items which have come to make this question, and the level of agreement relating to it. We'll now look at an example as a final slide. Here we see the 16th highest ranking item or question, which is: how often should people access dental care? There are 4 statements, or 4 items generating the statement. They are: services should be structured to enable appropriate follow-up. This is the 11th highest ranking item, with 100% agreement that it was a top priority. Services should be structured to enable regular screening and review was 22nd highest ranking item, with 91% agreement that it was top priority. As you can see, the following 2 items have much lower rankings and much lower percentage agreements, and are also considered lower priority. These statements are contradictory to the initial 2 statements, and therefore the panel must discuss these so as to review and gain consensus on the core question: how often should people access dental care? This is an example of how the Delphi panel will function at the meeting on the 12th of June. I look forward to seeing you there. If you have any further questions, please visit us on projectsmileireland.com. Thank you.